brought in actually with an outside company to work on Halloween, and right from that get-go I was pulled on the inside and had actually got a job as entertainment designer, essentially an art director for the entertainment department. And through those years we've done Halloween, and we rebooted it, you guys know it, since 2006. And when working with John on IPs and the conceptual of what we do in the mazes, as well as layout and art direction. And, you know, we try to put you guys right into the middle of a horror movie, or right in the middle of this crazy horror experience. So, and we try to do that, and you guys will see what we're trying to do, you know, with this attraction. So, really excited to bring it to you. Been doing horror for a long time, for almost about 25 years, with other theme parks and such as well. So, thanks for coming. Totally excited about it.
And I'm John Murdy. I'm the creative director on this project. I'm also the longtime creative director, producer on Halloween Horror Nights. How many of you guys have been to Horror Nights? I'm assuming. Okay. My introduction to horror came when I was 4 years old, when my mother made the mistake of showing me Frankenstein. It was, back in the 1970s. Probably a lot of you weren't even born in the 1970s, but it was back in the 1970s. There was kind of an era where horror movies were shown on television a whole lot, and my mom thought it would be a good idea to let her 4-year-old son watch Frankenstein. And from that moment, I was hooked. So I became obsessed with the Universal Classic Monsters, and started coming to Universal as a guest in 1972. So when I got out of college, I started at Universal in 1989 as a tour guide on the Universal Studios tour. And pretty much been with Universal my entire career. I actually met Chris in 2001 when I was doing an old show for the theme park called Special Effects Stages, which was down in the lower lot, and used to have a part of the attraction called the Creature Factory, which was all, you know, horror based and about our classic monster characters. And Chris was my art director on that project. And then after that, I spent most of my career with Universal Creative, and I had just finished up the Revenge of the Mummy ride, and I had gotten a call from at that time, the general manager of the theme park, asking me if I would have any interest in bringing back Halloween Horror Nights to Universal Studios Hollywood. Because if you know your history, and actually Dawn, I think, and Chris predate me on this, they both worked on earlier iterations of Halloween Horror Nights back in the 90s for you, Chris, right? And Dawn, you were in the 90s as well. So in 2006, I took the leap and decided to try to bring Horror Nights back, working with Chris. And thanks to all of you guys who have supported the event down through the years. You know, every year it's been more successful than the last. And if you've come to Halloween Horror Nights, you know, the last 4 years, you'll know that we have heavily featured The Walking Dead. So today, what we're going to do is talk about a brand new attraction that is a permanent attraction. And I should make, you know, that distinction here, because if you've been to Horror Nights, you know what we do for Horror Nights. We create these very highly elaborately detailed mazes, but no matter how detailed they are, they're still temporary. You know, we set them up. Usually they're in a tent. We tear them down as soon as the event's over. This is very, very, very different and very exciting. What we're going to be doing is we're creating a permanent attraction that's going to be open year-round, based on The Walking Dead. And so today, I think what we'd all like to do is talk to you a little bit about that attraction, explain some of the differences of what's different about a permanent attraction versus what you might have seen in the past at Halloween Horror Nights. We're not going to give away every detail, because, you know, I hate spoilers. You watch The Walking Dead, I'm sure you hate spoilers. Usually, like when things are really busy, I fall behind on the show, and I have to avoid social media altogether, as I know a lot of you do, because I don't want to know what's happened.
Also, part of horror, and to scare you guys, is a surprise, right? And that's what we do, is we set stuff up as you guys walk through specific rooms, if you guys been to Halloween Horror Nights, and it's a surprise of what happens. So that's a big part of it, you know. I know for myself, want to keep as much as we can, you know, hidden and as a surprise. And honestly, there's going to be some stuff in there that you're going to go, how did they do that? And we want to do that. That's the cool part of this too.